is coming. Number 3, in some areas of the country, the power grid is dangerously overloaded. And now, new socialist legislation is only compounding the problem. Number 4, dangerous weather is always a threat to local grids. Every year, thousands of families lose their power from weather-related outages. Number 5, a solar power generator provides powerful backup insurance and peace of mind. Folks, I really believe in the solar power generators offered by Solutions from Science, one of my oldest sponsors. You can get more information at www.mysolarbackup.com. That's mysolarbackup.com. Remember, the government doesn't own the sun, so go to mysolarbackup.com or call 1-877-327-0365.
Over the last year, Alex has told you about, and many of you have experienced, emergencies and disasters in unprecedented numbers. People have had to literally run for their lives. Folks, this is Steve Shank with eFoods Direct. I'm not here to scare you, but when disaster strikes, you won't have time to think. You must act automatically. What does a pilot do when the helicopter engine fails in flight? No time to think, just act automatically. When the alert is broadcast, the alarm sounds, or the knock comes on your door, you'll need to be ready to act without thinking of what to do or what you need. You need a 5-day extreme emergency kit. With serious supplies and real food to secure 2 adults for 5 days, this powerful $300 extreme emergency kit is free with an order of at least $995 from eFoods Direct. Go to efoodsdirect.com/Alex or call 800-409-5633. That's efoodsdirect.com/Alex. 800-409-5633.
Remember, on May 25th, 2010, the Washington Post basically just let it slip out like you do kind of quietly in church to hope nobody notices the foul little gaseous dropping that, yeah, the CIA made fake Bin Laden videos for the American people. Didn't matter all those university heads and experts and linguists had looked at the video, studied the voice. They were all fake, or they were old videos re-edited. I could just look and go, that's the same video, the same jacket. He never ages. Well, now they just admit it's all fake. Fake photo yesterday issued, and all the newspapers, TV. Then later, yeah, it is fake when folks pointed it out. But it doesn't matter. It feels good to see it, and people, the general public, will always think that was real. In fact, there are still news outlets out there reporting that's the photo. You can't see the body. It's been thrown in the ocean. If you go back to habeas corpus, it wasn't just if you're going to arrest you for murder, they need to find the body to say you committed murder. Show us the corpse, habeas corpus. That also was for the king. If he said, letter of marque, go out and find this highwayman, this thief, dead or alive, 30 pounds, dead or alive, and you had to bring in the dead body. In fact, if somebody had run to Europe 1,000 miles away, they generally wouldn't pay for it unless you had the body shipped, even if it was rotten. So what they would a lot of times would do would chop the head off and put it in a bag of salt and then just rush back, because you could get huge bounties for getting traitors or criminals. Habeas corpus, show us the corpse. Produce the corpse. Bring forward the corpse. But we don't get to have the corpse, do we? No, we don't. It's so convenient. He now joins the mythical Elvis and all the other famed people that have been kidnapped by flying saucers. But don't worry, Al-Qaeda's going to hit us and hit us hard, and there's nukes buried in America. And watching Obama's body language, we have Panetta leaving the CIA to go to defense. We have Petraeus, the two P's, the PP, leaving and going. So Petraeus is leaving defense as the general and going over to CIA, and Panetta's going from CIA over to defense, the reshuffling so they can fix intelligence better. And it's positioning Petraeus as the big hero, the guy that got Bin Laden. Man, he can get it done when he isn't fainting and he's a big CFR laureate and big globalist, pro-one world government, anti-gun. Republicans will vote for him in a minute. You got Bin Laden, here's my gun. My dollar's devalued, gas is going to be $7 a gallon, but Petraeus got tough. That's all that matters in America. Watson, how big is it that Walter Cronkite, Heinz Kerry, Madeleine Albright went on TV and said they've got the body frozen. This is right before the election. After we first in 2002, from White House sources, 2 of them secret, 1 of them public, Steve Pachenik, former deputy under Kissinger who knew Bin Laden, coming out and saying it was all fake, he was frozen, that they would roll it out. I mean, this is a big public secret in Washington. And now they've done this. It shows how desperate they are. Watson, you've got the floor, because I want to get to some calls coming up, too. Full spectrum, what are the key points here?
Well, in relation to what you were just talking about, we reported that they had him on ice. It started to come out. You had top intelligence professionals, respected ones, saying that that was the case. And then Democrats, just before the 2004 election, started making a big stink about it. So literally 3 days before the election, they wheeled out the next best thing, which was this videotape of Bin Laden basically dissing Bush. Of course, it gave Bush the 3 or 4 percentage points he needed to overturn Kerry and win the election. And it was this Bin Laden with a dyed beard, as if that would ever happen. And so they chose the next best thing. So they had the opportunity to do it then, and they probably pulled back from it because there were so many Democrats making such a big stink about it. So that's why he's been on ice for that long. In relation to the phony image that we were talking about earlier, it was confirmed as a hoax. I wrote an article immediately saying this is a hoax. Why is it on the top of the Daily Mail website? Why is it on the top of the London Telegraph website? Why is it being played across the Middle East? And indeed, The Guardian, on their own live blog last night in the early hours of the morning, was speculating whether it was real or fake. And then today, they have the nerve to come out and blame, quote, conspiracy theorists for circulating this image as a genuine picture of the dead Bin Laden. And by the term conspiracy theorists, they basically mean us. When we were there right at the very start saying it was a hoax, when all the mainstream media were saying this is a picture of dead Bin Laden.
But it shows their hatred of their listeners and viewers and readers, how they treat them with total contempt. And now they're saying that it was kill, not capture, no prisoners taken, because whatever poor guy they had in there. It turns out that the White House was doing drills. Jerry Bruckheimer, we know, with the saving the private in Iraq, that they ran drills of that, and that was scripted, and that nobody was resisting, and that the area had been safe for 2 days, and they knew that it was safe, so they did like a scripting event. This could have been some poor guy thinking he was part of some script. Then they send the forces in to kill him, believing they killed Bin Laden. I mean, that's how globalists do that a lot. Oh, you're part of a drill. Get on these airplanes. Nerve gas is released. They're remote controlled. You're part of a drill. Go on board these buses or trains. Now, they've been caught doing that. Or MI6 dressed up like Al-Qaeda guys with big beards, running around shooting police and stuff in Basra. They got caught. Folks, don't forget all of this. I mean, they do this over and over again. It's like if you have a neighbor that always lies, always cheats, always steals, you don't give them the keys to your safety deposit box and your car and your house. Here's more. U.S. carried out operation at my discretion. Obama's a tough, big, great man, isn't he? Boy, we got to love him. Official, Bin Laden given religious funeral before sea burial. Give me a break. Mission was to kill, not capture. No prisoners taken. That's the way the Russians do it when they stage an event. They just go in and kill a bunch of people and say they were in there. The White House is now debating releasing a photo. I thought they already had the photo of the corpse. I mean, why would they have to release the photo of the corpse? Because people for a few hours were kind of, attaboy, boy, it feels good, we got them. But a lot of people go, wait a minute. Something's going on here. Paul, I think this is going to blow up in their face unless they hurry up and stage their terror attack.
Well, that's the whole point about it. Basically, they've wheeled out the words of Khalid Sheikh Mohammed, who, because he's been tortured until kingdom come for the past 5 years, and basically admits to being, you know, Jack the Ripper, the gunman on the grassy knoll, and the Grinch who stole Christmas, and everything else under the sun. He was supposedly planning to attack buildings in the US before they even existed. He's the one that led them to the location of Bin Laden, and now he's the one from these WikiLeaks documents, again, WikiLeaks backing up the US military-industrial complex, as they routinely do, just a few days ago coming out and saying that there's going to be this nuclear holocaust if Bin Laden is captured. And it's all about terror fear-mongering. Now you've got the increased bag patrols in the metro, the subway stations.
Oh, yeah, the war on terror is not ending. People are like, can I not have you grab my crotch? Can I have shampoo? And they're like, oh, no. WikiLeaks, Al-Qaeda to unleash nuclear hellstorm of Osama killed. Sun, worst is yet to come. Bin Laden, protected by Pakistani security. Fear, security tightened at New York airports, Times Square, World Trade Center. It's so scary. Napolitano, heightened state of vigilance. U.S. issues worldwide travel alert. Chemical biological response teams pulled and recalled from Japan. Oh, it's so scary. Taliban commander vows to avenge death. U.S. faces broad terror attack. Report, Pakistani intelligence agents on site during raid. Unclear who fired fatal shot. Report, DNA testing confirms Bin Laden's death and that the world is flat. White House, 99.9% sure he's dead. Pentagon, wife identified him by name during raid. Oh, yes, it's all real. So they're just there telling us it's real. Oh, it's real. It's real. Believe us. Believe us. And now we're not worried about the banks imploding our system. We're not worried about the dollar plunging our gas prices. I mean, good job, military. You got them. Now let us take your pension funds. I'm sorry, Paul. Go ahead.
Well, you mentioned the ABC News story, and I mean, they call us conspiracy theorists. This thing about the U.S. chemical biological experts being withdrawn from Japan as if it's some kind of response to the deadly nuclear Al-Qaeda holocaust that's coming. Those people were withdrawn days ago at the request of the Japanese government because the Japanese government said they didn't need them.
All so ABC,
ABC News has baselessly connected it to the Bin Laden story to craft this hoax to strike the fear of God into people, that they expect, you know, nuclear, chemical, biological attacks. There's no connection whatsoever. And they're also trotting out Anwar al-Awlaki, the CIA lackey, as the new Bin Laden.
And no reality is connected to this. He's admitted CIA, admittedly trained, runs all the major patsy attacks, and it's like, I'm on major talk shows, and a month ago they were ready to talk about it. A week ago, now they're like, yeah, I know he's at the Pentagon, but still, Al-Qaeda's real. This is so great we killed Bin Laden. I'm like, reality, wake up.
I think they've come to the point where they've been lied to so much that it kind of
they like
depresses. Yeah, I mean, they want to believe the lie because they've just been so, you know, bathed in this deception.
Well, no, I mean, there are some women that like men that knock their teeth out and break their nose. There's a big movement in the U.S. and worldwide where men and women are chopping their arms and legs off, and they have their arms and legs chopped off more and more because they've always got to get trendier than the other, and then they live in a box in a diaper. Folks, I'm not joking. Documentary's been made about this. And then the other person tends for you, and you have no arms and legs. You got to go to Mexico to have it done. And then your lover, in quotes, keeps you in the box. And so, yeah, I mean, in a way, that's what this, people kind of like it. You know, they kind of like being conned. It's kind of fun, isn't it?
It's Stockholm Syndrome. They like their captor. They like the person doing the brainwashing. And it's funny that we had this big fake patriotic fervour in the UK a few days ago with, you know, Union Jacks everywhere outside people's houses. Of course, they daren't put them up at any other time because they get called racist. And then you've got this massive fake patriotic fervour today with these George Washington University college kids that just miraculously turned up on the White House lawn minutes after the announcement.
With crisp American flags.
Made by slaves in China.
Totally staged, just like in Iraq when they pulled the statue down. They said hundreds of thousands did it. And we finally got camera shots that were wide. It was like 40, 50 people maybe. And it was Pachari. Or not Pachari, he's the UN scammer. Who's the big U.S. guy they sent in? Chalabi. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, and so you've got this big fake celebration when these people in reality are only celebrating another chapter in the collapse of the United States as a global empire and a global superpower. Because as Hamid Gul was warning in the last hour when you spoke to him, this only has the potential to lead to more war and more bloodshed in the Middle East. I mean, Bin Laden, as I wrote in my article today, was a very useful boogeyman in life, but in death,